Greetings and welcome back to room 303 in our chats with Emily, as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are using the Johnson edition. We turn now to poem 557, She Hideth Her the Last. Now we are back to another one of Emily's nature riddle poems. And we're going to ask, what is the she and the her in this poem? And we're going to discover that it is the sun. So you can go ahead and write that down, and we'll see how Emily will celebrate the sun. This is a poem, a tribute poem to the sun, falling, of course, into that same line as the Homer that she loved, who would often give all kinds of special lines to the sun. Now, our assumptions are that you've been following our stuff at LearnStrong.net. Down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily is our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've worked through our set of introductory comments. I'm hopeful that you've already read our previous 556 poems. We just finished with 556, The Brain Within Its Groove. And if you have, you'll be able to place this poem with other nature riddle poems that you will have seen and be familiar with. I want you to pay attention to the 6 hers of this poem, if you will. Okay, a tribute poem to the sun. She hideth her the last, and is the first to rise. Her night doth hardly recompense the closing of her eyes. She doth her purple work, and putteth her away in low apartments in the sod, as worthily as we. To imitate her life as impotent would be, as make of our imperfect mince the julep of the bee. Now, you can already hear, even as I read this, that Emily here will play with end rhyme, and she seems to be having a bit of fun while she's doing it. Now, notice, she doesn't say the sun hides her light, the last, but rather just plays the game that you will figure it out as you read. Now, no doubt, Emily's clearly playing around with that symbolism of Republic Books 6 and 7, and the cave allegory, and the power of the light of the sun, no doubt, right? Representing the good and the light. Notice, she hideth her the last, and is the first to rise. It's a fun, almost like childlike rhyme. What is it that's the last and the first? And of course, it's the sunrise and the sunset. Her night doth hardly recompense the closing of her eyes. In other words, the night never seems to last very long, and then we've got the dawn. Obviously, we could be speaking symbolically here as well. She doth her purple work, in other words, sunset, and putteth her away, her sunlight, in low apartments in the sod, as worthily as we. In other words, when it gets dark, it's like death itself living under the ground in the sod, right? To imitate her life as impotent would be. In other words, to be as bright as the sun, to imitate. Notice her play on words with imitate and impotent. To imitate her life as impotent would be, as make of our imperfect mince our drinks, the julep shall reference. We'll see that one more time mentioned in 1628. The drink that will usually be a little bit of liquor and sugar and water mixed together. The julep, or the honey of the bee. What's her point here in a little poem like this? Well, I think her argument is that nature is amazing, and it can't be in any way really imitated in any profound way so easily. At 2B, I love the riddle nature here, and I love her 6 hers. I love the word choice of going from imitate to impotent. At 3A, to compare this with other titles, all of the other nature riddle poems, I'll just list them for you, and you can write them down, go to your own study later with them. 60, 72, 173, 297, 311, and 507. We've already seen those as nature poems. You can go back and review that study. Finally, at 3B, what is your opinion of the sun? And do you enjoy and love it, or are you more a night person? Thank you.